Thank you very much, my dear friends. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a great honor to be a part of this important event today. I want to begin by expressing my deep appreciation to the Hudson Institute for bringing the critical issue of Afghanistan back to the spotlight, especially during a time when the world is grappling with so many pressing challenges. Your unwavering dedication to the subject over the past few years is truly commendable. I would also like to extend my congratulations to the Hudson Institute on the launch of the insightful paper authored by our good friend Luke Coffey. This paper, which we have all eagerly awaited, should serve as a powerful catalyst for further discussion about the future of Afghanistan. Personally, I am eager to delve into the recommendation that emerged from this work, and I sincerely hope that policymakers in Washington will take these lessons to heart. While the paper provides thorough analysis, I would like to take a moment to share my thoughts on 5 critical issues that affect the people of Afghanistan today. First, the complex challenges facing Afghanistan's people. The people of Afghanistan are currently enduring a multitude of grave political, economic, security, and social challenges, all of which are the result of human actions. Exhausted by years of conflict, the population is increasingly desperate for liberation from the Taliban's oppressive regime. Sadly, the Taliban have exploited the fatigue that the world has regarding Afghanistan, continuing to impose draconian policies that choke daily life, particularly of women of Afghanistan. Over the past 3 years, their illegitimate rule has shattered by any illusion of a more pragmatic or moderate Taliban. Taliban 2.0 or good Taliban, unfortunately, past 2 years approved and showed does not exist, revealing a group as dogmatic and repressive as ever. Their actions indicate a willingness to collectively punish the entire population of Afghanistan, leading the country toward the brink of further bloodshed and a safe haven for the terrorism. Second, the escalating threat of terrorism. Since August 2021, Afghanistan has transformed into a haven for regional and international terrorists and terrorism. Over 21 terrorist networks are operating within the country, with thousands of foreign terrorist fighters receiving protection and assistance from the Taliban. You have all seen the surge and the terrorist activities across the region, especially in the neighboring countries of Afghanistan. And the reason being is the Taliban being a role model for all those terrorist groups. The recent tragic events that happened in Pakistan, many innocents who lost their lives in the act of terrorism, is a proof, just in the past few days, that the continuation of the current situation in Afghanistan will further destabilize the region and our neighbors in Afghanistan and the world. The recent terror attacks and the recent events truly have connections to Afghanistan. Al-Qaeda has grown stronger than it was in 2001, and ISKP continues to expand with each passing day. The Taliban are also establishing radical jihadi madrasas in all of Afghanistan's 400 districts. With these thousands of jihadi madrasa, it will be a pipeline for hundreds and thousands of youth into the extremist of ideologies. We, the National Resistance Front, are the only force so far continuing the global war on terror within Afghanistan. It is imperative that we work together to prevent further attacks that could result in global catastrophe. However, even if you're alone, it is our national duty to defend our right to defend our people for a better life and for freedom. Third, the international community's policy of appeasing. As I mentioned before, unfortunately, so far we have been alone, and we have been left alone, and we have been left forgotten. Over the past 3 years, the international community have pursued a policy of appeasement and unconditional engagement with the Taliban, which has been criticized massively and collectively by the majority of people of Afghanistan. However, it is crucial to understand that Afghanistan has changed. While the Taliban may control the country, they do not represent the will of the population. Afghanistan's youth, especially young girls, have dreams and aspirations no different from their peers around the globe. Social media is flooded with the voices of these young people. And a recent UN report indicates that only 4% of the population supports Taliban and their ideology. This clearly demonstrates that the people of Afghanistan are trapped under Taliban's reign of terror and tyranny. And the fourth, what we want. The National Resistance Front is a part of democratic forces and the people of Afghanistan who are fighting for a free and safe and democratic Afghanistan. The NRF emerged from the remnants of the fallen republic with a steadfast commitment to establishing a democratic and pluralistic Afghanistan for all citizens. We have carried out hundreds of successful operations against the Taliban after the Taliban refused to talk, negotiate, and to accept the will of people of Afghanistan. After the fall of Kabul, I have engaged in talks with Taliban for many weeks, but the Taliban refused time after time to talk and to allow the people of Afghanistan to decide. I went even to this point that I told them that I am willing to give up my own life and I'm not looking for anything, but only for the people to decide. There is one condition that we want, although the Taliban were ready and they wanted to offer me a position in their government, but my request was simply one thing. Where is the rule of people and where is the position of people in that? I wanted and we wanted, and the people of Afghanistan want one thing, for them to be able to decide for the future. So what I requested and what I still request is just simply one thing, election. If the Taliban have any support within Afghanistan, if they have any courage to even say such thing that they are the will of people of Afghanistan, then they should happily allow people to decide in the ballot of votes and through the votes, but they refused. So therefore, after we have been forced to, and we have been left with no choice but to pick up arms once again and to fight, we have managed to do something unimaginable and almost impossible. From the ruins and from the ashes, we emerged once again. And just last year, we have carried out hundreds of operations successfully with no casualties to anything and to any civilians. Our approach to violence is carefully calculated, aimed at protecting our communities from those who are targeting teachers, engineers, and health workers. In response to the Taliban destructive policies, we are redefining militarism and our history. With each passing day, more of Afghanistan's people are rallying to our side. And we are now active in over half of the country. This year alone, we have expanded into the western and eastern regions, successfully challenging the Taliban and their tyranny. However, all of this, it is for a democratic of Afghanistan. One of the means that we want to reach there, it is through political activities that we have been active and we have been involved in. And one of is the Vienna process for the future of Afghanistan. For the first time, we have established a political process that is led and owned by the people of Afghanistan. Independent of significant foreign support, the Vienna process for democratic Afghanistan exemplified our ability to unite and move forward collectively. It is important that the international community recognize and assist this need and allows us to prepare for a democratic alternative. The National Resistance Front focused on three primary areas: instilling hope among the people and preventing the normalization of the current situation. We know that the situation is very hard, and we know how lonely our people feel. But what we should do is to keep this flame and this hope alive in the darkest time and the loneliest of eras. The second, engaging in discussion with all key political figures and parties and forming a united coalition against the Taliban in current situation and other terrorist groups. And prevailing current situation and establishing a government that belongs to all, that all of us, all Afghans, they feel safe, they feel they belong to that government, to that establishment, and also they can be able to live peacefully with each other and with the world. In conclusion, we fully recognize the high expectation placed upon us by the people of Afghanistan. Many see the NRF as a potential successor to the previous government, but we are determined to meet those expectations, but to create a situation with the help of the people of Afghanistan, alongside many other parties and groups, to once again make Afghanistan to possess a government that we all feel belongs and we be proud, and to once again find our spot in the world. Thank you for your attention. I look forward to my colleague, Mr. Nazari, addressing your questions and concerns during the panel discussion. Thank you so much for having me. God bless you all.